Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. On today's episode, I will dive quickly into the concept of quickies, okay? Quickly into the concept of quickies. Now, we've all heard of quickies, but most of us avoid it and try to work on lengthening the experience. However, that is still good. But do you know quick sex sessions can improve both your health and your relationship? And would you like to find out how? Anyways, keep watching this video so that you know all the tricks, the techniques, and secrets to make your woman reach an orgasm as fast as you want her to. Because we women, we take time to get there. Of course, we all know that we are sexually active, hormonal creatures. But with our daily responsibilities, we sometimes don't find the time to tend to our deepest desires. And this is where Quickie comes into play and quenches our sexual thirst or our sexual starvation. Because we're going on about our days and we really do not have that time to have that lengthy sex. Now, listen, I can tell you for a fact that the promise of having a quickie without all of the romantic mumbo jumbo is almost too good to be true. But today you will learn how to rock your woman's world faster than you ever thought possible. Now, let's start by clarifying that there are at least two kinds of quickies. You have the hump and dump, smash and dash, pound and pounce, one night stand kind of quickie. And then you have the type where you're both in a hurry, but you really want to smash one another. Like you really want to smash one another before you go on about your day. Okay, so here we will focus on the second of the two kinds of quickie. Now, the purpose of quick sex is just to drain the tensions from your day-to-day lives or your day-to-day activity, putting an end to an argument or maybe to freshen up in the morning just before work. It's just an excellent way to keep the spark in your sex life alive when routine just threatens to smother the flame of attraction between you and your partner. But then again, we need to realize what is and isn't a quickie. So let's start from the top. What is a quickie? Well, it's simply a quick act of having sex. Now, understand that satisfactory sexual intercourse implies effectiveness. And that means that both parties involved should come and enjoy it. But how can you, as a man, make your woman orgasm so quickly when most women take 20 to 30 minutes on an average to orgasm? So I am thinking that with experience, because you're not going to do this with any woman that you just met. You don't know her time frame for reaching her orgasm. So it should be with a woman that you already know. All right. So with experience, you've learned that it takes time to make your partner climax. You've also learned that the more stimulation that you give to your partner, the more powerful the orgasm is. Now, when you focus on stimulating all her senses, trust me on the fact that the soaking wet, cascading squirtgasm is inevitable. All right. You probably must have put your woman in such a state of erotic excitement, so much so that the slightest stimulus has made her orgasm almost immediately. Plus, you're already familiar with what gets her off quickly. All right. You're familiar with her stroke patterns that she likes, and you're familiar with, all of the things, her buttons, basically. So it becomes easy for you to get her to truly orgasm in a shortest period of time. And to top it all up, you have to know when the best window of opportunity for quickie presents itself. And that instinct can only be developed. And this is how you develop it. It's all in the fingers. It's all in the foreplay. It's all in the tongue play. It's all in trying new things. So assuming that you're with your girl, you want to have sex. She doesn't. You're horny, but she's tired and she wants to rest. You're hard, but she's getting ready to go to work. These are some of the obstacles that may present themselves as a busy couple. But understand that women are all about communication and intimacy. And a quickie very much likely isn't our idea of a good time. All right. So therefore, the first step is setting the mood by talking her into it. See, women are a lot more imaginative than men. And while for men, it might be enough to think about a tight, wet, juicy pot or a massive set of watermelons. All right. It's different for women. Women need a lot more than the idea of a throwing or thrusting joystick to get us in the mood. All right. Women respond to auditory stimulation a lot quicker than we do to visual stimulation. Now, arousal increases rapidly when you know what to tell her. So whisper all of those dirty things in her ears. Tell her all of those twisted things that you would want to do to her. Don't skip on any details. And what I mean by details, tell her things like, I will put a finger just outside of your juicy part and make you beg for me to. But instead, I would run the tip of my finger around the lips of your juicy part, stretching them so that it will provide more room for my joystick. Sounds good, right? Then you can go on and ask your partner what kinks she's into, and then play into that to create her fantasy and have her wet in seconds. Better yet, whisper that in her ears while you're unbuttoning her shirt or unzipping her pants or unpinning her bra and playing with her watermelons. You could kiss her neck, lick her ears. Remember, your tongue is your best friend in this conquest. If you can read the signs of approval she admits from her body and from deep within her throat, then you've hit a jackpot, darling. You have. And what signs are we talking about? They are the small, subtle messages that her body just shows you when she wants it as much as you want it to, if not more, such as something like dilated pupils, changes in her breathing patterns or her breathing rate, muscular relaxation, heightened body temperature, hardening of her knees, getting wet, of course. Now listen, if her inclined head or her accelerated breathing and her legs spread wide aren't enough of an invitation for you to ravage her, you can just hold the back of her head, all right, and look into her eyes and ask her, how much do you want it, baby? Now, to increase the effectiveness of this step, the best strategy is to rely on building up sexual tension ahead. You don't even have to touch her. All you need to do is what I call sexting. Write about the kinkiest stuff you two have done together on your way to her place. Write about the best sex you both have had together. Remind her about that time you rammed into her and she had a massive orgasm. That way, when you get there, she will pounce on your joystick like a hungry tigress. Man, listen, you may not believe it all, but understand that the best way to make her reach a fast orgasm and enjoy a morning quickie is to distract her. You're going to want to make her want you to penetrate her so badly that when the moment comes, she's about ready to shower you in her juices. So listen guys, I need you to realize that penetration isn't the peak of Everest for most women. All right. So if you've got the advantage of complete privacy, focus on her nips. Feed on them softly. Then a little harder. All right. But not so hard that it causes her pain. You need to gauge how much she can tolerate before she complains. And that way you will know her pain tolerance. Next thing you do is nibble the inside of her elbow, which is another highly sensitive part of the female anatomy. Pretty soon she will be making noises and begging for more. Now, but then again, you need to remember that each one of us is different and each juicy part is different as well. So because they vary in shape, taste, and scent, all right? And each woman likes to be touched in their own way. And it's up to you to discover how your partner likes to be touched. The shape of her body, their particular routine when she touches herself, and their stance on using toy can actually affect their reaction to any stimulus. However, if your partner loves using toy, the best way to get her horny is to tease her labia with her favorite toy softly. Tease her to the point of desperation and make her beg for more action. Then indulge her when you know that she's begged you enough. And then you play with her powerhouse. By now, you know what a powerhouse is, the clit. But only when she's moist, not before. All right? There are countless guides on how to make a woman reach an astounding orgasm. I will link some videos for you. But the best method, however, lies in knowing her body and what she likes. And the idea of Quickie is not to begin to know that about her. All right. She should be someone that you already know. Her time frame, her time limit, because, some people it takes more than 20 minutes. Some people it takes maybe, depending on how long you guys have been and how well you know her, it could even take less than 10 minutes or 5 minutes for you to get her there. You need to realize that quickies, become more effective for both you and her with time when you have already gotten the hang of things that get her to the edge of orgasm quickly. Basically, quickie is just when you see the shortcuts. So practice makes perfect, right? And the more time that you two have sex, the more experience you become with each other's bodies. So does she like missionary? Does she like oral sex? Does she like double penetration? Maybe she likes to get reamed for some time before getting started. Whatever the case may be, I think the gathering this information on what she likes will be more pleasurable, or would be a pleasure for you. Then the next phase is where the penetration happens. All right. This is where men miss it with quickies. Penetration in quickie is not meant to be fast. It's not just some of the old in and out kind of thing. No, you see, penetration in a quickie is best when focused on depth, not speed. Why? Now, this is why. Because you want to build up the tension between the two of you as fast as you can. And the deeper you go, the more effectively this can be accomplished. Now, this does not mean that you have to have a huge member to give her what she wants. You can be perfectly average and still bring your woman to a leg trembling, pelvic thrusting, massive orgasm in just a minute. Now, the secret is maintaining contact with the inside of a juicy part at all moments. So don't forget to continue the onslaught on her body on several fronts, like stimulating her powerhouse, kissing her, talking dirty to her. You could even digit her number 2 if she's into it. Just feel the pleasure of pumping into her. Set up a rhythm that feels natural to you and gradually increase the speed and the intensity of your rhythm. Remember that rhythm and consistency are the 2 things that can get a woman to orgasm. Even men, rhythm, consistency are the 2 things that can get anyone to orgasm. Because this will allow the 2 of you to heighten your senses and focus on the here and now. So allow her to decide the rhythm. After all, she's the one getting pounded. All right. Hold her firmly and let her move her hips against you so that you both are effectively marking the rhythm and the intensity of the session. And this will also allow her to reach her orgasm as fast as possible. So don't worry, guys, because she will have plenty of time to show you how grateful she is when she's got her lips wrapped around your joystick and she's swallowing a massive load. All right. So the next phase is to have fun. Up to this point, it seems like there's a lot of technique and, precision when it comes to quickie, but sex, including quickies, is about being open to trying new things, new experiences and sensation, right? A quickie can be the ideal moment to try something new that you have never dared to try before. New toys, new positions, new places, different fantasies. Nothing's a taboo. Nothing is out of bounds as long as all parties are fully consenting adults and they're consenting to whatever. And as long as nobody gets hurt without their permission, whatever happens behind closed doors between you and your partner is nobody's business but your own. Okay? So this is it. This is all I need to tell you about Quickie. So if you've been dodging this Quickie with your man for quite some time, or you have been dodging this Quickie, or you've never had it, I think you should incorporate it in your sex life, and you would see the spark. You would see the bond that it creates afterwards. Okay? Until I come your way, do know that I love you. Mwah.